Alrighty, good morning everyone, Ginger Kraken here. Today we're diving back into our Planet Zoo playthrough career mode. Let me just quickly pause the game and close this. Yeah, so we're diving back into our career mode adventure. Last time we made a home for some new porcupines that we got. We also made some adjustments to the zoo to hopefully make things run a little bit better. And I'm not sure if you've noticed, but I have tinkered with the OBS settings a little bit more, so hopefully the audio is improving. This is only our third, well, this is my fourth recording, but this is only the third episode in this series. I forgot, where did we leave off? I don't remember, actually. I wrote it down. Hang on. Let me check my book here. Okay, so we had a little mishap here with our bronze tier requirement. I forget what things are called. I do these recordings in the morning, so I'm sorry if I'm not quite awake. I see balloons that need popping. Nope. There we go. Yeah, so we're waiting for a third leopard to be able to release to the wild. We're going to start working towards some silver and gold accomplishments. I know we reached 5 different habitat species last time, and it looks like our guest cap is almost at 1,200, so maybe if we add another exhibit today, that will help raise that number. Guest hunger and guest thirst, I just want to check and make sure that those are still in check. Yeah, it looks like we're still doing good there. And we did the loony balloons. We can't do hats. Fantastic. We did the welfare. We wrote down the animals that we have so far so we can keep track of this accomplishment, because I always lose track of what I have and what I haven't released to the wild. And we also need 7 tour points in the zoo. Okay, so I did want to, when I was looking back at the recording I did yesterday morning, I did want to expand the pathway here, because I feel like the guests are going to have some traffic issues. So let me just quickly do that. Grab this and just nudge it over a little bit. There we go. And can we put our... There we are. The other thing I'm doing too, because I love playing this game, but because I'm recording it, I can't play it whenever I want. Essentially, now I have to have the recording. So what I decided to do, and let me know if you guys would be interested in this, is I'm kind of doing like a challenge where in sandbox mode, why are you obstructed? There we go. In sandbox mode, what I'm doing is, yeah, this isn't going to work. I'm basically working my way through the Zoopedia, and I want to place a habitat for every single animal, and I'm calling it the A through Z Zoo Challenge. So I'm going to eventually have all of these animals in one zoo. Hopefully one zoo. I might have to make a secondary zoo to continue. But yeah. Okay, so let's get started with making our next exhibit. What animal should we put in? I'm going to pause the game so the timer doesn't run out on what we can adopt and what we can't. I'm kind of tempted to do goats because I know they do relatively well. But I also want to get some different stuff in, like these ibex maybe. What is your guys' habitat requirements? You know me, we're going to crank that to 4. So they need 6 square feet, no water requirement. What does their pack size look like? So, oh gosh, okay, so we only need 1 guy and as many girls as we want. Okay, so that's an option. Maybe we'll do the ibex. Is there any other... Aardvark. I always like to adopt male and female, so if I see like this African wild dog, there's only a female available. Not gonna adopt her because then I'm gonna get complaints about the animals are lonely. and then also for breeding purposes as well. We could also do gators. I forget what the gator requirement is. I know it's a bunch of water. Yes, you need 3, well, let's round up to 4 and 4. So you need 4 land, 4 water. I don't know if I have an empty habitat that has that much water in it still. I'd have to make from scratch. And I kind of wanted to fill up the pre-made exhibits here. Actually, maybe we could do this area. We could like push the ground in here. Where's the door for this thing? I want to see. Why is the door all the way over here? I want to check and see what we already have. So we've got 2,000 square feet, no water. So that might actually be not enough for them. Unless we did what we did with the porcupines before I finally realized that the rock that was here was in the way of them. Maybe we can check and expand the path and the fence out and see if that gives us enough room, but I also need to have like double the space just for water. Am I reading this right? Is it 2,000? Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Oh no, it's 21 square feet. Okay, that makes a big difference. This is totally fine. However, if we're putting gators in, I don't trust this chain link fence. So let's get the brick wall. And I'm going to make... It's weird how it tapers off here. I'm going to make this... No, let's go from here. I'm going to make this entire wall glass. There we go. I'm not going to do down here because then well, it's short. The fence is short as it is, so it's probably going to be an issue anyway. But I don't want to do glass here because if I do that, then I'm potentially going to get traffic issues with guests, and I don't know if it's an issue per se, like the game views it as a negative thing, but I do because it drives me nuts when I have guests complaining and everything's just jammed up, and there's like I have the Twilight DLC pack. I kept getting this huge traffic jam because guests wanted to go through this pre-built walkthrough exhibit. I was like, just go around. I built a path for you to go around. Just go around. I don't know why you have to walk through the exhibit. And if I do remember correctly, I did get guests complaining that they were stuck. And I had to manually move a bunch of people. I rebuilt paths everywhere and they just refused to take them. Okay, so let's resume the game and let's work on pushing some of this terrain in so we can put down some water. Now, I believe water has to be at least, oh, that's at 50%. I believe your water has to be at least 6 feet deep for it to count towards an animal's water requirement. And if you're not sure what the water requirement means per se, it's that it's kind of how it's described. The animal requires a certain amount of water to be in the exhibit for it to be happy. And I can't see what I'm doing with all these rocks here, so we're going to add them to the pile out there. What the heck? That's a very strange little thing. I think the tree is preventing us there, but I kind of like that, so we'll just smooth all of this out so the animals can get in and out of the water. What was I saying? Yeah, I don't know if the game views it as a negative thing. I know I do, because in real life, I hate, especially when I'm like grocery shopping and stuff, and I'm trying to get down an aisle, but it's so narrow that there's no room to move. And you can be like, oh, excuse me all you want, but there's nowhere for anyone to go. Like I had to go buy, my dog got a pair of my pants and shredded them yesterday, so I went out to go buy a new pair of pants yesterday. And the winners that we have in town, I was like, oh my god, It's so narrow. And I was like, hey, forget it. I'm just going to come back on another day because I'm currently recording this on... What day is it today? It's Friday, August the 29th. So it's the Friday before the long weekend for Labor Day. And Labor Day, can you go in there? There we go. If you have never heard of Labor Day before, it's basically a day off that we get in September, and schools always resume. There we go. Schools always resume the day after. So Labor Day is going to be on the Monday, so school starts on the Tuesday. So it's like parents and kids' last chance to do whatever they want to do for the summer and or just in general. So it's always busy, and especially when you live in a town like mine where it's kind of, we call it like a tourist cottage town. There's so many people, like there's no point going out and doing anything. That's why I tried to go out yesterday, because I have a week off right now that I'm doing all my recordings on. What's going on here? There we go. Please cooperate with me. There we go. So yeah, that's what's going on in my life right now. Just trying to avoid all the people that are in town. Pardon me, I had to like hiccup at the same time. Ugh, there we go. I don't know why some mornings like I have coffee and I get very hiccupy and stuff. What is going on here? I know I said it last time, but the pathing in this game drives me crazy. There we go. Do we have a gator? Yes, we do. Hello, buddy. How are you? First things first, as we learned in episode 1, well, first of all, you're stuck there for some reason. First things first, I want to make sure you can't get out, but you can't even move. So let's just delete a bunch of these trees, because I think, yes, that was the problem. Okay, so now you can move around. How are we doing for terrain? Oh, you have more than enough room, like we thought. I did not place any water. I'm so sorry. There we go. Again, me being in Canada, I'm not familiar with alligators. I know they're, if you see one, leave it alone. That's about it. I don't know if they can climb in real life. I feel like I should know that. Okay, yeah, you cannot escape. Perfect, because I definitely do not want alligators getting out in my zoo. Let's check your plants. You don't like those. I meant to delete those, because we're not worrying about money right now. So we can just outright delete things. Don't like those, don't like those, don't like those. Hedgerow I'm going to delete so the guests can see. And we are in the green. Perfect. I want to move these bushes just so they're out of the way. Excuse me. Bushes. Move. Just want to move those over. Is there anything else? We have a lot of buffalo grass. I'm just going to delete that. What was that I saw, like 115? More buffalo grass. Okay. Not sure why we have so much. Alright. Let's get you a food trough here. And let's just put one under the tree. Oh, do you have water treatment? I think your friend's done in quarantine. Hang on. Yes, your friend is done. Boop. Okay. Heat map, water. Oh, you do not have water treatment. Okay, so let's get on that ASAP. Where can I put it, though? That is the question. Where can I put water treatment where it's not going to bother our guests, but it's close enough to reach? Can I put it over here? Do these plants bring the annoying factor down on this machine? I always call it the annoying factor. This, red circle that's around the water treatment that basically just says, hey, your guests are going to complain if they can hear or see it within this radius. Is that close enough? Perfect. Okay, so one thing I have found through playing this game, I checked this morning, apparently I have 250 hours or something, but I know I left the game paused overnight a couple times when I was first playing it. One thing I've come to learn is with these water treatment, the radius that they show, you could have like the smallest sliver of water apply and it counts. So as long as you get this radius touching your bodies of water somewhat, you are fine. So that's why I kind of have them scattered about. Like this one is mainly just for that one. This one does these two. If I was smart and if I was able, I would have put it in the center, because then it definitely would have been able to reach everything. But unfortunately, that's where our guest area is, so we can't put things that is going to annoy them there. All right. Oh, you are running. You're glitching and running. Oh, you're being chased. Hang on. You are a criminal. Let me grab you. I can't grab you because you're running. Excuse me, security man. Can I grab you? I cannot grab you. Please catch him. Or her. Tammy, it's probably a her. Let's just get in on this action. Oh good, you're tired, you're stopping, you're hiding. Where's my security guy? Go get him. This is what I was saying the other episode is I think I'm gonna have to start installing security cameras, because we are getting to that point. I don't like hiring so many security guards because they just wander around and they honestly don't do much. But back to our gators. Do you guys... Okay, yeah, so that counts as their shelter or their home. You guys want toys. Let's see, can I do an underwater feeder? Yes, I can. Let's do a sprinkler. Actually, let's move this backwards. There we go. And just bring it up a little bit. Perfect. This tree I kind of want to move, but not really. Toys. Again, we're not going for perfect. We're just going for completion's sake. Toy, rubber ducky. I don't know if I put the rubber ducky in the water, if they will play. Oh, I know our otter knocked it in. Is it still stuck there? I think it's still stuck there. So we'll put it on the ground so they can reach it. Okay, rubber ducky. Let's give you a scratching pad as well. And a frozen block of fish. There we go. So now you guys have some toys. You should be happy. You like your plants. What about the ground? We could do with some more soil and sand and pretty much everything. Okay, so painting. Let's just do the auto around the water. The auto's always good if you're trying to go for like a more realistic water to grass transition. Okay, so that was fine. I'm just gonna do some more soil coming out. See, like, I always get stuck between I want to make the exhibits look pretty, but at the same time, I'm just going for completion's sake. Maybe in my, that A to Z challenge that I mentioned, maybe we'll go for some more realistic looking exhibits there. Because I haven't really experimented at all with making things look real. I always just go for like, okay, what are the accomplishments on this career mode and move on to the next one. But I haven't been recording them. I've just been playing them, and then I had the idea. I'm like, you know what? I have all this free time and I'm bored. Why not try out YouTube? You never know until you try something. Could I sink those in a little more? No, I just want you and you and you and you. There we go. And X. That looks okay. Again, I'm trying to make things look realistic and we're just going for completion. Okay, so that looks like our gators are happy. How you doing, buddy? You look happy in the water there. I'm gonna get a picture of you. I did fix on last episode where when I take a screenshot there was a really loud noise. I did fix that. Why are these plants under... That looks weird. Hey, we're not going for perfection, Rebecca. What are you doing? We're going for completion. Okay, so that's going to be 6 habitats. So let's write down so I can keep track gator. There we go. Yeah, I really hope the audio settings are okay this time around. Perfect. Why are you not researching a disease? I keep telling you to, and you keep completing things way too fast. Why is my computer frozen? I was starting to panic there. I'm like, there we go. Yeah, I'm not sure. Again, because my first episode, my audio was way off, and I know you can barely hear what I'm saying unless you crank the volume. I have a hand-me-down PC. What are you doing? Oh, okay, I thought you like fell. When I moved in with my boyfriend, my apartment that I moved out of had a flooding incident and I lost my PC. So thankfully, he was kind enough. He wanted to buy a new tower for himself, and my voice is going weird. Sorry. Are you two fighting? You are fighting. Oh no, you're escaping. Who's escaping? Okay, is this going to be another... He's in there. Are you kidding me? Why does it do this every so often? That's why. Barrier, you, add. It did this last time and it annoyed me. There. He is not out. And I lost what I was saying. Oh yeah, the PC. So I moved out of my apartment. My apartment had flooded just before I moved out. I lost my PC. My boyfriend was nice enough. He wanted to get a new PC made anyway. Because he goes to... We have a store in town. It's called Canada Computers, if you're not familiar with it. And they build computers according to what you want. So he wanted to make a new one with them, and he was nice enough to give me his old one, but balloon. But it is on the older side, and I have a lot of stuff on it, especially with the games and everything. I also do, there we go. My actual, when I'm working I'm an admin. So I also take that into my family, and I do a lot of admin. I don't know what's going on with my voice today. I do a lot of admin-y type stuff for my family, which I also use the PC for. So it's got a lot of stuff on it, and I am so sorry. What is going on with my voice? 1 second. Okay, I'm so sorry. I had a frog in my throat or something going on there. I tried to mute the mic, so hopefully you guys didn't hear me cough just now. I guess I'll know when I do the playback and check that the recording was okay. Okay, so we've got our gators down. What else can we do while we're here? Actually, let's check on our leopards. Did we get a new one yet? Leopard. Oh, we did. Okay, so you released to wild. Look at that, we have bronze standard now. Okay, so Emma's giving us a new letter. Let's see what it says. I was glad to hear you join us in preparing for the party. You've done amazing work so far. Frontier Zoo is excited to have you on board, and so am I. While our tortoise tongue-tied. While our tortoise settle, let's get the celebrations underway. It won't be much of a party without guests, though, so we should focus on bringing more into the zoo. Oh, and don't forget to build a restaurant for them, too. It's not a party without some flavorsome food. As I'm writing this, I've just received a message that the zoo will be receiving more animals. Conservation... Oh, there's a period there. Conservation never sleeps, so keep your eye on the animal storage. We will need to make sure they're just as pampered as our guests. Okay, so like I was saying last time, I suspect we're just being given some animals. The spectacled bears, so we got that automatically. This dip down. Wasn't there a thirst? Oh yeah, thirst dip down too. And this should go up now that we have the gators in there. Oh, I forgot to place down donations and stuff. Hang on. Hang on. We forgot donation bins for our gators. There we go. Put one there, one there. I don't know why my voice is like all weird today. I hope I'm not getting sick. I work in healthcare, so I better not be getting sick, because that's just bad news. I don't know if it's everywhere, because I just recently started working in healthcare, but it's a pretty standard practice. Like, if you're questioning if you're feeling okay, don't come in. Especially this is like post-COVID, so... Oh my gosh, there we go. Yeah, so working in healthcare is interesting these days. I don't know what it was like before because I wasn't in it before, but yeah, if you even have a tickle in your throat, it's just, no, don't come in, stay home, we'll see you next time kind of thing. Which is good, but also bad. Because, again, it's healthcare, so I'm constantly picking things up off of people, and it's very annoying. Because I actually enjoy working. I'm very weird. Oh yeah, we didn't have power there, did we? Yeah, we don't have power there. That's why I put that one there. So maybe... let's just delete this. And let's move this one. Where do I have power again? Well, the guests seem to crowd around here, so maybe we should just plop it down right here. I just want to make sure we're not overlapping with any other education boards. There we go. And I'm going to push all the wrong buttons. I just want to move those benches. I can speak English, I swear. There we go. We'll call that good. And then let's move this board down, because I don't know for sure, but my belief is if the guests can hear the board, it will attract them over to the exhibit. Because, you know, that's kind of how things go in real life, right? Plus, we're kind of getting a crowd here, so I feel like that would help increase our education rating. If it made sense to have the board so they can hear it where they're crowding. There we are. Okay. Garbage bins, I just remembered too, because we have a lot of littering, and I just remembered that guy knocked over a bin. So, zoo overview, crime, replace. And then we're gonna go facility, benches, bins, you. Come with me, you bin. One thing that annoys me when I'm placing things is the terrain has to be somewhat even for a lot of the, like you can see this bin is turning red and it's not letting me put it down because the ground has to be somewhat even in order for it to let you put it down. Which I get because, you know, if I was to put that down in real life on a, you know, slant, it's going to go rolling down a hill. And then that's not going to be good. I also don't like the idea of guests sitting right here. Again, I've never come across it, but I assume there's a danger potential there. So I'm going to move you over to the harmless turtles. And there we are. Okay, so we do have, yes, we have some things that were adopted to us. So let's select all and transfer to our storage. And then I'm going to select you guys again. And we're going to put you in this quarantine. Because that quarantine is closer to the surgery. And it doesn't take forever for us to get our bloody animals. Okay, so this is going to be the spectacle bear area. But I can't work on it until I get them in the zoo. So let's just kill some time. And have a frozen computer again. I'm going to have to look into that, I think. Come on. I'm not sure if it's like because OBS is running. Oh, I also have Steam running. Let me close that quickly. Excuse me, Steam. Please close. There we go. Hopefully that helps our computer speed up a little bit. What else can we do while we wait? Let's, wrong tab. Let's click on the wrong tab. Maybe now we should put down some security. Whatchamacallits? Security. I like using these post ones. And I like turning the heat map on with the power grid on. So I can check. Okay, so this area is gonna be no good. Okay. Let's put one down here. And then I like to attempt to kind of keep things consistent and overlap. So my security guards can see everything. Because we do not like vandals, and especially since there's a, whatchamacallit here. There's no power there. There is power there, though. Wrong button. There we go. I'm like the queen of pushing the wrong button, I swear. I was like, sometimes I'm at work and my coworkers are like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. I know there's a button I'm supposed to push, I just can't seem to figure it out. Alright. Let's get some in... Well, let's do one in all the paths that lead in. And I also want to get one here. And... let's put one here. Right here. Love the music in this game. Okay, there we go. It's coming along. Oh. No, I just want to plop her down. Oh, they built stuff here, isn't... Yep, they built stuff here. There we go. My voice went funny again. I'm so sorry. There's like a frog or something in my throat. I'm trying to be conscious because I imagine it's not pleasant to hear me trying to clear my throat and stuff, but yeah, I really hope I'm not starting to pick something up. If I am, I'm going to be upset, and I know exactly which patient it would have been that got me sick, and I knew when he came in. I was like, well, if you're not feeling well, then why are you here? Because again, I work in healthcare, but it's not, like, I don't want to give you guys the full details, because, you know, I do hope you understand. I would appreciate the mutual respect of privacy. But I do work in healthcare, but it's not like in a hospital or anything like that. It's like a subsection. And there's this guy that came in the other day. And he called in, I think, like 20 minutes before his appointment. He's like, oh, you know, like, I'm not feeling too great. I'm not sure. My throat's all scratchy. And it's our policy, like, well, you didn't say, like, you were coughing or anything like that, like you don't have COVID symptoms, you don't have a fever, etc., etc. He's like, yeah, no, like I just have a scratchy throat, that kind of thing. I'm like, okay, well, that could be a cold. Like, I'm not a doctor, I just work front desk. And I'm just following our policies. And he's like, yeah, you know, I'll come in anyway because I've been waiting for this appointment. I'm like, okay, that's up to you. And as he was leaving, he started coughing. I'm like, oh my god, you're gonna infect everybody now. It's interesting working in a healthcare setting that's not considered healthcare in some other settings. Let's put you there. And put you there. And again, like my goal, one of the things I want, since I am doing recordings, and I know that anytime you put yourself out there, you're gonna lose some amount of your privacy. I do hope you guys understand, like, I'm a pretty private person to begin with, so I want to try and remain and, you know, maintain that privacy, anonymous. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but I hope you understand what I'm trying to get at. Just because, again, this is something I'm doing for fun. I'm not taking this seriously or anything. But I also don't want it to affect my actual life. Like, I don't want people showing up at my door being like, hey, I'm a fan of yours, which, you know, I would appreciate, but at the same time, it's not appropriate to show up at people's doors unwelcomed and uninvited, and we are just ticking stuff off. My goodness. I'm not even doing anything. I'm just putting security stuff down and we're like accomplishing stuff. Okay, so I see a balloon. Pop. Oh, there's another one. I saw it. Oh, there you are. Blended in there. I went on a bit of a tangent. Now I forgot what I was saying and doing. Why are you red? Oh no. Who died? Oh! No! We got a dead otter. That's no good. This is one of the ones I couldn't release, wasn't it? Aww. So this is why every so often I like to check the populations and just, you know, make sure we're good. Our bears are done. That's good. So let's put you here because that's where I planned for you to go. And we've got some vet research. Okay, so having Steam open for some reason definitely slowed down my computer. Okay, so we're gonna wait for those bears to come in. Let's see. Another thing too that used to drive me nuts, because I was a hairdresser for a little bit too, is like when we would have parents, and I don't know if it's because, like, I don't know, people are interesting, but we would have parents who would pull their kids out of school to get their hair cut, and then later down the line, because, you know, you just start like chit-chatting and stuff, and it usually would come up, the parents would be like, oh yeah, because it would be like a weird time. It would be like, I don't know, 11 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I know school ends at 3:10 because I've been living in the same town my whole life. So it'd be like, you know, 2 o'clock, and they'd be like, oh yeah, like I brought my kid in and this, that, blah, blah, blah. And then at the end, they'd always be like, yeah, you know, they weren't feeling well, so I decided to pull them out of school. And since we're out of school, I figured let's get a haircut. I'm like, why would you bring your kid here then if they're not feeling well? Did you not learn anything from the pandemic? Like, even before, my parents raised me to be very like, if you're not feeling well, you don't go out, you don't get to do anything. You stay in your room. I don't know, maybe it was the way I was raised, but It drives me crazy. Did you just... What? Oh, okay. I was like, did you just put a bear in the wrong exhibit? But yeah, I'd always be like, if you're not feeling well, stay home. It would drive me insane. I remember there was one lady, because we had a bunch of them that morning. I don't know why, and I heard through, because when you're hairdressing, you really get to know your community because you see everybody, especially when it's a small town. I remember it was like the fifth or sixth kid that had come in. The parent had pulled them out of school because they weren't feeling well. The entire staff knew that something was going around, and finally I snapped at this lady. I'm like, if your kid's not feeling well, you need to take them home. They can't be here. And she looked at me shocked. I'm like, seriously, like, you just told me your kid's not feeling well? I'm not going anywhere near them. It is not okay for your kid to be here and infect everyone and everything here. Like, I don't want to be sick for God knows how long. Especially, every so often we would get like an outbreak of strep throat in my town. I believe we still do. But, yeah, I am one of those people. I'm very susceptible to contracting strep throat. I don't know why. I just am. And it would drive me insane when the parents would tell me like, oh yeah, you know, like we just found out he has strep throat. Like, why are you here? Oh. Anyway, again, I'm going on a tangent. Let's just remove all the stuff that you don't like. Yeah, like, I was shocked that mum was shocked that I was upset. If you know what I'm getting at, like... Anyway, Taiga. Let's build these bears an exhibit. Let's get back on track here. Okay, so how's the terrain doing, first of all? You guys do have a climbing requirement, so maybe we'll leave this area open and we'll put a climbing thing in for them. Terrain's looking okay. Let's put some soil down in the middle here, because we're going to put that climbing thing in. Grass long. That was it? You just wanted more soil. Okay. Well, that was easy. I don't know if you guys remember those commercials with the Staples button, like, that was easy. Oh, so maybe if you guys have a climbing requirement, I want to experiment. Let's get out our oh, I don't have climbing research. Damn it. I'm going to steal the Jaguars thing then. Especially, hang on. There we go. Especially since I saw this does not count as a whatchamacallit. Excuse me, duplicate. Oh, I can't duplicate. Okay, fine. I will steal the climbing frame because, again, this game is funny. I don't have any pre-built climbing frames unlocked. However, there has been one placed down in the zoo, and I don't remember if you guys remember me talking about this wind turbine. I didn't have it unlocked, but I duplicated it and I was able to put it down. So that is a very interesting thing with this game that I have come to learn, is you don't necessarily have to have something unlocked if it's in your zoo already. You can just copy it. Let's sink this into the ground a little bit. Perfect. And now that that's down, I'm going to put some trees for them so they can climb up the trees. Again, I'm going to be pushing all the wrong buttons here. They can climb up the trees, and they can also climb this climbing rig. I forget what they're called. I'm going to call it a climbing rig today, and someone's going to correct me, I'm sure. Okay, so you're fine with the monkey puzzle tree. There's not a lot of options here, eh? Can we put down some caribou moss? Let's just plop this around randomly. Oh yeah, the other thing I wanted to do was turn this into a tunnel. And then maybe that'll count towards it being what is it called? Maybe that'll count towards being like their home. So one thing I have found is if you flatten to surface, I don't know why I have this on such a big circle. And then we're going to just tunnel through, hopefully. There's the opening. We're going to tunnel through there. And then they can climb under here. They can climb around here. I want to make that opening a little bit better. A little wider here as well. Let's delete that rock because that just looks silly. And we're going to smooth, not flatten, smooth. We're going to smooth the terrain. I'm going to make a bigger hole for some reason. Let's just smooth this. Not sure why it's doing that. I guess it's just really thin there. Actually, I kind of want to flatten it a little more. Yeah, that looks better, I think. Okay, so now let's smooth it. Anyway, as far as my tangents go, I think it's like, moral of the story is a saying I've heard a couple times, and I, honest to God, like, I see it now, especially now that I'm an adult. Common sense is not common anymore. It's not. You can argue with me if you want. It's really not. You guys have, oh whoa, that's a big tree. We're not putting that down. You guys have a very interesting requirement for plants, because each category doesn't really have anything that, well, doesn't have anything that I really want to work with. That I already put down, I think, yeah. Oh my gosh, my voice. I'm gonna have to edit the audio on this for me clearing my throat and stuff. Maybe I just need a sip of water. Hang on, let me get a drink of water really quick. Okay, hopefully that helps us. As I try to clear my throat again, sorry. I've been with my boyfriend so long, like I can consider his parents my in-laws already. My essentially mother-in-law was nice enough the other day, because I did some work around the house for her. She wasn't expecting it. She gave me some money to go out and like spend on myself for she's like, here, take this and spend it on yourself for once. Don't spend it on stuff you need. Like, buy stuff that you want. And I was saying to my boyfriend a couple weeks ago, because I have this cute little metal, I guess it's called a tumbler. I know there's like trends and stuff with water bottles, but I had this tumbler from work that was a gift, like a Christmas. They did this big fancy dinner around Christmas time, and they were like, here, we had some tumblers and stuff made for you guys. I was like, oh, thank you. Like, I've never had a company tumbler before or anything like that. It's actually really high quality. And yeah, so she's like, here, like, take this money. Do not spend it on stuff you like need for the house. Spend it on stuff that you want for once, please. Otherwise, I'm gonna take it back. So I went out and like I bought a couple pairs of pants and some shirts and stuff, and I also bought one of those it's not the Stanley brand, but it's like a knockoff kind of thing. It was only $20. And I love it because it's so much bigger than my tumbler, which again, I'm very thankful that they got us tumblers and stuff, but I was like, I'm one of those people, I need to drink more water and I never do. So I bought this big, massive, to me it's big, massive Stanley knockoff. And yeah, it's great. I love it. I feel like this should actually be the other way around. Hang on. Yeah. Let's do that. Because I always get busy, and then I don't drink water, and then I wonder why I have a headache later on, and yeah. How are you guys doing with the plants now? I feel like I'm talking about myself too much right now. Okay, so we do have some plants now that we did the tropical. I like to try and keep it to one continent and or one biome. But apparently there's not a lot of options. I want to try and get some plants down. Let's see if we can put down an apple tree. Maybe we'll put it like here. Also, I just want to quickly resume. That still doesn't count as shelter, really? Maybe if I dig it this way more. Flatten the surface. I just don't want to go too crazy because I know the ground is very thin. Actually, can I squeeze in here? Oh, yes, I can. Okay. So sometimes with this game, oops, that's another hole. You can squeeze underneath where you're working. Again, I'm essentially a noob with this game. I've just been kind of going at it, and I find it can be a little bit tricky sometimes to get the game just perfect enough that it lets you slip underground and stuff. No, I don't want to take away ground. How about that? Okay, perfect. So now that technically counts as hard shelter. Perfect. Okay, so you guys still need more climbing. This did count, but we need more. So I'm just gonna do this. I'm just gonna cheat technically. Let's put you there. And no. There we go. And I want to sink it into the ground just a touch. Just so it doesn't look like it's floating. Because then I'm going to go crazy. Maybe let's just put this log there. Maybe we can move the tree as well. Move the tree over here. I really hope that they can't escape. Actually, let's put the tree in the middle. That's a rock. I want the bear. Okay, so play, terrain. Okay, perfect. So now we meet the requirement. And I also want to make sure you guys cannot escape. Now that you have climbing things. We're going to make that climbable. I might need to move that. Okay. So you guys are doing pretty good. I know the plant situation could be better, but I just don't know what else to put in here. Let's do a Brazil nut tree. Because I don't want to put too many trees and then they can climb out. But then the other thing too is if I put too much trees, then the guests are going to be like, I can't see the animal. Which is why I was hesitant to put that tree in the center, but because of the whole climbing apparatus, I might be able to get away with it. We'll see. How big are you? Okay, you're a big... Oh, you know what else I remember? There's I think it's called a kapaka tree? Kapoke tree? I don't know how to say it, but they are massive. And is this it? That's a wimba tree. How big is a wimba tree? No. They count for a huge amount. So if you have like your coverage, you think you've put down so many plants and you cannot get that requirement. These ones. Yeah, maybe it's kapoke. I need to look up how to say it, but watch this. Watch this coverage meter here. This is my trick for any time I cannot figure out what to do. It counts for so much coverage. I don't know. It's ridiculous. It's my go-to saver. And the other thing you have to keep in mind when you're placing this tree is those roots that I just shoved underground. It will take away from the navigable, I'm going to say traversable land that the animals can actually do. So it's always good to double check your heat map and the blue is what this is counting. So actually I think I want to take away some of the rocks just to give them more space. So let's turn our camera so we can see what we're doing. I'm going to delete those and you'll see this turn in blue. See? So I just gave them back more land. So if you didn't notice when we were having that issue with the porcupines, it was almost like a pre-built shelter of some sort. And I did not realize that that pre-built shelter was actually blocking them. It was like splitting their habitat in half. So I kept adjusting the fences and I was like, I can't figure it out. And then I realized in like the corner of my eye, it was that, you know, pre-built shelter that was the problem. And then once I deleted those rocks, everything was good again. Speaking of good again, oh, balloon! Oh, it's my favorite color too. Many guests think tickets are underpriced. I will deal with that in a moment. So, there we go. This is looking better. We can definitely get rid of more rocks for you though. Also, another thing, if you're using those invisible barriers and you want to make it more realistic and lifelike, you can actually use rocks to oh shoot, okay, maybe we don't want to delete the rocks over here. You can actually use the rocks as a barrier and run your invisible fence through it. The other thing I have found out with the rocks is you can use them to make something watertight. So if you're placing down a river and you want to have the barrier in the water, but you want it to look natural, if you place a bunch of rocks so it looks like there was an avalanche or something, or a rock slide, it'll count and it'll stop the animals from continuing. Like if let's say my porcupines, because they're in the perfect example, if I wanted them to be able to swim here, but I wanted it to stop in line with these two fences, I would put down some rocks along there and along here, and that will stop them from continuing going down the rest of the river. And then the game being like, oh, your animals escaped, when they technically didn't. Because the river is their habitat. Okay, let's boot this up to 20 and 15, because I like keeping those... Oh, balloon. I saw you. Where did you go? There we go. I like to keep those about $5 apart, because I find that just works best for me. And how are you guys doing? You liking your new home? Yeah? What about your friend? Your friend is just sitting there? Can I get a picture of you on the climbing thing? Maybe? Oh, okay, we're climbing. Want to get like a couple good pictures of these guys. Are you stuck? No, you're coming down? Well, I can't get a good picture of you like this, buddy. No? Okay, I'll take the ones that I did. What else should we be working towards? Let's see. Spectacle bear food to grade 2. So we will need to... Oh shoot, how do I improve the food quality? I forget. I think I need to research them more. So you're gonna go on to bear. You're gonna go on to swine fever. How's our mechanic research doing? Let's see, barriers. Okay, perfect. Souvenir shops. Oh, we can place the hat's fantastic now. Great. I want to put you on climbing. because I just realized we have no climbing stuff, which is not good if we're going to have animals that can climb and require a climbing requirement. English. Okay, so what else can we do? I'm just trying to think. You know, maybe, yeah, let's put a pin in it here because we have done quite a bit. So we've put some alligators in, we've got our bears going. We finally were able to release that last leopard out to the wild. We had our turtles apparently escape once again. I love too how the pop-up is like, a dangerous animal has escaped, and then when I go to it, it's like a turtle or a flamingo or a sheep. It's like, really? Yeah, so that's gonna be it for this episode. I've got some stuff around the house that I gotta get done today. So when we come back, I think what we're gonna do is I'm gonna have to look into how to get the food quality up, because I can't for the life of me remember how that's done. And then hopefully we'll do that, and then we can start working on our gold achievements, because we can do the hats fantastic. This is like a standard for me. I like to make the animals as happy as I possibly can before I move on to the next thing. Breed 6 new habitat animals of different species. That's been going on in the background, so I'll have to check and see. Hopefully it tells me how many it's done, because I know we've had a baby donkey, we've had baby otters, leopards, turtles. So hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I know for sure we've had 5 of them already, and maybe the gators had a baby in the background. I wasn't paying attention. Plus we also have our bears. So either or, we'll set that achievement off, and then release 7 habitat species to the wild. So we do need 7 habitats. We've currently got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 7 habitats already. So as long as we release 1 of each animal, we should be fine. And then just improve your zoo rating, which is usually the last thing that I have to do because I'm always getting sidetracked dealing with other problems. I do want to quickly check. I think, oh no, I was gonna say I think we've got the litter situation under control, but I can see there's a bunch over here, and there's one there that just got picked up, I think. So yeah, so we'll put it there. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me today, and I can't wait to see you on the next one. I'm not sure if I'm gonna record it again. I have stuff around the house. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to record it later today, or it might have to be on another day. But yeah, we will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.